Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps lots. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are after market close on Monday, May 2nd. Wanted to take a look at Upstart today. So I did an Upstart video not too long ago, and we were talking at that time, if Upstart could sort of build itself a range and then use that to maybe, trend reverse off this long downtrend that it's been under. Now, just because it builds a range doesn't mean that it's going to reverse trend, right? It's going to eventually, probably, break that range, but it could break it to the downside, of course. So just the fact that it's building a range doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to break to the upside. But I do think that Upstart at this point is looking very, very bullish. And it's not just because it's had like a day when it went up over 11%. That's obviously a phenomenal day. And the market rallied late in the day today. But it's doing essentially the thing that I was looking for it to do. It's continued to hug close to this $81 level that we put in. It dipped all the way down to 71. So it's, that's where it was getting a little bit, concerning. But it didn't like really break and hold the range. This can often sort of fake people out, if you will, where you get these sort of brief range breaks that don't hold, right? So you have this range here, and this is the one that we're looking for it to break, right? And it dips below a couple of times because the next day it puts a wick in below the range also, but it never closes a following candle and holds out of the range, right? It comes down through and closes below the range on this day, but then the next day it firmly positions itself back into range and actually tries to range break to the upside on the following day and gets pushed back down into the range. Now today, it's once again rallying up through the top of the range. Now, could it rally or could it drop back down into the range tomorrow? Yes, of course, absolutely. What I would be looking for it to do is establish support at this 81. What do we have here exactly? 81.67 level. If it can firmly establish support there, and that may take a couple of days, it may take a week, who knows? But I think that pretty handily unlocks a potential run at that $90 level, which is a pretty good, you talk about being up $8 was over 11% today. That would be another $8 to $9 run there as well. So that's what I'm looking for, and I don't know that this will be a sustained run. It might get like kind of choppy. I think there's a few things at play. I do tend to think if this motion continues and we do get support over here and Upstart is able to act as a stock unto itself, what I mean by that is barring some further breakdown in the overall stock market that then just drags down most or all stocks with it, if that happens, then Upstart is probably just going to be dragged back down at least into this range, if not further, if the whole market breaks down again in the near future or further. But if Upstart's able to continue in its own pattern and act sort of independently as a stock unto itself, I do think there are strong indications here that it could really try to grasp a hold of that support at 81.67. This actually looks to me like it's 81.71. So whatever, it's a few pennies. We might actually be able to see it here if we zoom in. 81.71. There you go. Ta-da. And so you see that's right where it caught the friction and flipped today. So I feel pretty confident in that level. So in any case, if it gets that 81.71 support, I do think there's a strong possibility for a short-term run at 90.85. What it does when it gets there, I don't know. It could reject hard. It could then sort of uprange itself, meaning it just goes the next level up and then continues to build a range. That may not necessarily be a bad thing. Again, that means it could break it to the upside again in the future. And this is a really nice spot of run room, 90 to 105. It would be pretty unlikely that it wouldn't catch some resistance here at 100 because of the psychological level. But I do think that it's nothing more than psychological. You see some support levels here, but there's not a lot of repeated support and resistance at that level. So I don't think it's super strong resistance beyond the psychological factor. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Again, if you think you got it, you feel free to stop watching the video, but I'll repeat it one more time. If it breaks below this range in gray and establishes price motion below here that no longer is entering the range, then yeah, it's probably going to break down further. If the overall stock market bleeds more, it has a short-term rally and then breaks down significantly, yes, probably Upstart is going to get dragged down with that. Barring those things, I would look for it to establish support at 81.71, and if it can do that, then I would look for a short-term run to 90.85. Then it's sort of okay, time to sort of see what's happening at that point and do a new analysis. But I'd be watching strongly if it does get support over that 81.71, what the volume's doing, right? You see there's a pretty solid uptick in volume, right, from like in this range here. And now you see the volume since that period of time has sort of drawn down, right? It's sort of diminished. But the good thing there is the volume is diminishing as the price is coming down and then sort of consolidating, stabilizing. So that's why any increase in volume that starts to rival the levels that we saw back here to the upside, really strong possibility, in my opinion, that favors a motion toward support over 81.71 and then a run at 90. All right, folks, so I hope your trading week got off to a good start today. It should be a interesting, exciting week, if not month, and hopefully you're hanging in there okay. But in any case, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.